Why did the Dragonborn go to High Hrothgar? Well, to see what all the foos was about. What's going on, YouTube? We're inside the Hollow City, inside a cold harbor, outside the plane of existence, to go over our first of two weekend vendors. Now, this week we've got a boulder, which for 2,500 gold certainly will take up a lot of space, and really that's what paperweights are for. Then we have another boulder, 450 gold. Then we've got some cactuses that are different, and tall. We have a Dragon Guard brazier, which doesn't light, it's empty. We've got some Elsewhere chimes, an Elsewhere window, and a trap door of Dragon Guard. I will be honest, this thing is actually pretty sick for 20k gold. This is a very weird week where you go from boulders to cactuses to a Dragon Guard brazier to some weird Elsewhere items. The trapdoor, definitely a fantastic item. The reason we talk about these items is you may want to use them for yourself, or you may want to try to resell them. If you're trying to resell them, I do think the trapdoor is definitely awesome. Everything else is a bit flavorful. For example, boulders, some people do like to use like really big objects that, you know, only count as one furnishing to take up a lot of room or block off different areas. But I would say it's probably the trapdoor. Maybe the wind chimes are probably your best item. The window's cool too, but it doesn't project light very far. And before we jump into the second vendor here, we are already over halfway to 26,000 subscribers, so please hit the subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, just hit the like button on this video. And let's talk about now our Cyrodiil golden vendors. Now, this bad mamma jamma has monster sets and golden jewelry for us. Let's see how good these sets are. And first, we have Celine's Guys, which don't be fooled. This is an old but gold set. I'll give you 10 guesses where this comes from, and if you said Celine's Web, you would be correct. It's one is weapon and spell damage, and it's 2. When you deal martial melee damage, you call upon a primal spirit that mauls the closest enemy in front of you after 1.3 seconds for 6,314 physical damage. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds and scales off your weapon or spell damage. Now, this one's a bit hard to put on a tier list. I love Celine's as a set. It's also base game, easy to get, but a dungeon itself is not the easiest of the early game dungeons that you may go through. Maybe you want to consider purchasing it, but overall you probably do just want to go run Celine's Web. If you don't, this is probably like a great set. I would put this as like an 8.5, but halfway between great and fantastic. I would say that it's been fantastic for a long time. But similar to other sets that just kind of get outclassed by some of the newer sets, it slides down just a little bit. If you asked me a few years ago, this would probably be a 9. It slipped to an 8.5. It's still a great set though. So realistically, if you wanted to buy this set outright and then just roll for the shoulders and just have a good Stam monster set combo, you're good. Next up is Valken Scoria. Now I'll give you some more guesses where this one comes from. And if you guess City of Ash 2, you would be correct. This one also, fun fact, has one of the best one-piece sets in the game, 1435 offensive penetration. Don't sleep on that. One of the only monster set one pieces to give you penetration. When you deal damage with a damage over time effect, you have an 8% chance to summon a meteor that deals 4,754 flame damage to a target, and then 1585, flame damage to all enemies within 5 meters. This effect can occur once every 5 seconds. So pretty frequently, you can keep popping meteors at people. I've seen this used in PvP. I've seen it used in PvE. It's a very good early monster set. I wouldn't say that it's fantastic. So you're probably putting it somewhere. Maybe a lot of people would say that it's probably great. I'm just going to give it an 8.0. I lean more towards good, but it does a lot of damage. It's pretty frequent. You can do tons of dots. You get offensive penetration, which is just pretty helpful. So yeah, that's where I'll throw it, 8.0. And if you wanted to buy it, you certainly could. City of Ash 2 is a bit of a longer dungeon, but you probably are just going to go out and farm it yourself, but it's up to you. Next up, we have Dune Ripper, which comes from Vollenfell, and fun fact, was actually buffed by, I think, like 1,000 spell resistance. It gives you health, healing taken, and while bracing, your physical and spell resistance are increased by 5310. It's a dungeon set that from Vollenfeld that gives you a little bit of physical and spell resistance while you're blocking. So arguably when you need it the least, you could probably see the problems with this set. It's like a 6.2. I mean, there are some blocking shenanigans that would do well with this, but like, there's so many other shenanigans that you can do. Why do a shenanigan that just dishes above average? Next up, we have the Friendly Fire set of Stendar. Mag Recovery, Max Magicka. When you heal yourself or an ally, you remove all negative effects from them. This effect can occur once every 30 seconds per target. So to be honest, you could do this to hundreds of people and they would all be on different timers. And in Cyrodiil, that certainly could happen. Why it's joked to be the Friendly Fire set is that there are certain effects that once cleansed could be pretty annoying, such as Plague Break. I don't necessarily think that makes it bad per se. I would say it's very meta dependent, a set like this, right? Because if there's a lot of Plague Break going around, using a set like this would be pretty annoying to your team, which is not good. You generally don't want the sets that you wear to be bad for your teammates. It's like an anti-ball group. You're like an anti-Zergling. You're like, everybody move away from me, which could be good. I will heal you and I will cleanse you in a way that will kill you if you guys stand too close to me. So overall, it's so meta dependent. We'll just give it a 6.5. Some metas, it could go up to be a good set, maybe even a great set. Probably not, because 30 seconds is a bit atrocious. But right now, probably like a 6.5. Next up from Stonefalls is Silks of the Sun. Crit chance, max mag, weapon and spell, and 400 weapon and spell damage to your flame damage abilities. This is kind of like, some other sets that just give you a bunch of weapon and spell damage, but are very specific on how it wants you to use them. This is an overland set though from Stonefalls. So from that, angle, you're like, okay, it's not bad, but there's so many other sets that you could use. You could use even like a War Maiden, which would be better for you probably. It's just very narrow in what it's good for. But that doesn't take away from the fact that 400 weapon and spell damage is still decent. So we're just going to give this a 7.0. If you built this properly, you could probably get a pretty good utilization out of it, but it's very narrow in scope. Next up, you have Worm Cult. Mag Recovery, Magicka, Mag Recovery. It grants 145 Magicka Recovery to you and up to 11 other group members within 28 meters. This bonus persists through death. If you ever see a set with the line, this bonus persists through death, that means the developers are acknowledging that you're going to be dead a lot because this bonus is not very good. So you basically might as well be dead and just give that bonus to everybody around you. So arguably not the greatest. We'll just 145 Magicka Recovery. To put in perspective, Magicka Recovery is split over 2 seconds. So 145 Magicka Recovery occurs once every 2 seconds. So that's 72 and a half Magicka Recovery a second. Woohoo! If you drink a potion, heavy attack, just kill things faster, you won't need as much Magicka. There's just so many ways that you could get Magicka Recovery. It's just, this isn't it. Like, there's so many better support sets than this. Even in PvP, where you want to keep giving bonuses to ball groups, everybody get that extra recovery. Like, there's just better ways that you could even give your other team Magicka and resources back. It's just this, unfortunately, this just ain't it, Chief. But everyone, thank you guys so much again for watching. It has been a pretty generic week. I would say that trap door thing that we got, that was actually really cool. I do also like to see Celine's. It's a bit of an annoying dungeon to go through if you're a solo player and you really want to get a good stamina monster set. So go out and purchase that one. If you're interested, Valkynscoria, you're probably never going to purchase that, but it's good to highlight it. Got good penetration. Everybody loves penetration. So that's where we wrap up this Friday vendor here for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much again for watching. As always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do is just be subscribed / follow on Twitch and Twitter for an additional drawing. Second thing is just make sure you leave a comment, comments below. And the third thing is look for a hidden word be flashed upon the screen. If you're the first person to find and comment that word, you will win. There's 1 word per month on a random video. And thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll probably be doing a stream, so if you've got some ideas for things that you want to see tomorrow, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you there. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.